The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Peace be unto you. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad. Welcome to Liberated Sisters, recording right here live at Morris Media Studios in the beautiful Leimert Park District, South Central Los Angeles. Today we salute two powerful, dynamic, brilliant sister soldiers, liberated sisters, who are the topic and the crux of this show today, defending Farrakhan. We are Farrakhan. I'm talking about none other than the national spokesperson for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Student Minister Dr. Ava Muhammad is going to be with us in the second half of the show. Also joining us with her will be the beautiful, bright, brilliant, talented warrior force, Vicki Dillard. Oh my God, I wish I had an applause button so I could give a hand clap right now to Sister Vicki, as well as our brother commentator Dr. Boyce Watkins. And what I'm talking about is the latest to bite the dust in this Farrakhan litmus test debacle we see going around nationwide. CNN commentator, social media influencer Angela Rye. We'll get more into that later in the show. We have Brother Jesse Muhammad that's going to join us with the Farrakhan Factor. And pretty soon we're going to be speaking with none other than his brother, our brother, great activist out of Houston, Texas, Brother Derek Muhammad. But first, the Justice Report. And so, the Justice Report comes straight out of the great Final Call newspaper published by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And our cover story today is Pushing for Peace. Pushing for Peace. This cover story talks about the desire to end bloodshed and bring about peace, how it's moving through the streets and hearts and minds of blacks in street organizations in South Central. Their hope is the tragic, painful killing of Nipsey Hussle. Can it feed a better future and help heal the wounds of the past? They and we believe so. They're working together, but they need resources to make a difference, and they are seeking to unite to save lives. Also in the Final Call newspaper, I'll highlight our editor-in-chief, Brother Richard Muhammad's editorial on Angela Rye when we get to that subject. But I want to bring in now, and there's much, much more in the Final Call, Missing Malia, the profound problem of children, boyfriends, and dangers in the hood. Brother Michael Z. Muhammad, our contributing writer out of Philadelphia, talks about the death of this baby in Houston, Texas. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say Houston, Texas. In Texas. Well, it is Houston, Texas, by the way. So much. That's one half of my hometown. And so I automatically said Houston, and it turns out that is correct. And so mothers, come on now, keep these men away from our babies, but read that story. I don't want to blame the person who's victimized. I want to blame the person who did the killing, but we have a role in the safety. We're responsible for our children. But I want to go to this in the Justice Report and bring in a very few moments, Brother Derek Muhammad. He had no reason to shoot her. This is one of our national stories written by Sister Rhodesia Muhammad, and she's talking about the cop shooting of mentally ill black woman and unjustifiable execution. Her family and her activists are crying out. And so let's bring in Brother Derek Muhammad on the ground there to talk about the city of Baytown and why we say shame on you. Go ahead, Brother Derek. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.
Wa alaikum salam, Ramadan Kareem, and thank you for having me on Liberated Sisters.
Absolutely, brother. You're doing a great work, and we appreciate you here at Liberated Sisters. You know, I'm weeping inside. I'm looking at the photographs of our brother, Sister Pamela Turner's daughter and her family, embraced by Brother Attorney Benjamin Crump. Brother, oh my God, what's our great brother, the attorney that's there, always doing great work, as well as Darrell Kevin Washington. These attorneys are there. Please tell me the brother's name, Brother Derek. It's escaping me right now. Because
maybe you're speaking of Brother Lee Merritt?
Absolutely, our great brother Lee Merritt. Go ahead. Tell us what's happening, a recap of what happened with Pamela Turner and what's happening there now to seek justice for this beautiful sister who had to shout out that she was pregnant in hopes that the beast would give her mercy, and he did not.
Yes, ma'am. A 44-year-old beautiful grandmother by the name of Pamela Turner, who happened to be suffering from a mental illness. I think schizophrenia is and was the diagnosis. Well, she was in her apartment complex picking up trash as she normally does, walking her dog as she normally does, and she was approached by a police officer by the name of Juan de la Cruz. Now, so-called Officer de la Cruz and Pamela Turner had previous run-ins before, and de la Cruz tried to arrest her by himself on a warrant that we have yet to confirm was even active at the time. And for those of you who have not seen the video, in the process of him trying to arrest her, she did resist and state, "I just want to go home," and ask the question, "Why are you harassing me?" Wow. Well, the encounter turned into a physical tussle between this man and a woman, obviously the woman, the weaker of the two physically, right? And he pulled his taser, deployed his taser, and he shot her down. But the 50,000 volts that went into her body could not keep her down. So this strong warrior woman bounced back up. It appears as if, though, she tried to grab the taser that he'd already shot her with. It had already been deployed. And at that point, he stepped back, pulled his pistol, and fired 5 shots. Wow. Two of the 5 shots actually struck this 44-year-old grandmother, one in the face, the other in the torso, and the other 3 shots went rampant throughout the parking lot where there were children outside playing and others as well. So that's exactly what happened. Now, for those of you who have seen the video speaks, obviously, to what happened a lot more poignantly than I can. And if you have not seen the video, you know, at one point in time, we used to advise one another to go and watch the video. Well, I would go as far as advising you not to watch the video because it is that horrible to watch. It is barbaric. It is savage. And as I said on television last week, had they shot a dog 5 times the way Officer de la Cruz shot Pamela Turner, there would be a worldwide outcry if it were a dog. But because it was a black woman, there is no worldwide outcry but there is an outcry from those of us who still have a heart of flesh and not a heart of stone.
Thank you, Brother Derek. You know, you made me think about this one point as I asked you to close out this segment of the Justice Report. We used to also, I remember, I was right here on the ground in LA when we had the movement that began of showing what's happening, record the police. It came out of Court Watch as well. Document what's happening so that there's this proof, but it's gotten out of hand. And so now, as Brother Nuri and others say, you know, throw the phone, do what you have to do, but don't just sit and record. And we saw this with the case of Marlene Pinnock, who was beaten by the CHP officer here, who, by the way, was allowed to resign to move on and do whatever else God knows. What are the demands there on the ground in Houston, and how can people reach out or follow you for more information and follow this case?
Right now, the demand is a demand, first and foremost, for transparency. That's number one. We are also demanding that the body cam that Officer De La Cruz was allegedly or apparently wearing, we want that body cam footage released.
Release it.
Yes, yes. We're also waiting on the independent autopsy to come back so that we'll know for sure, scientifically, you know, where she was shot, or whether or not she was really pregnant, and other information such as that. But right now, we're just asking for prayers and support for her family. We will be memorializing her in Houston the day after tomorrow. And, you know, those are pretty much the demands. We could demand for a fair and transparent investigation, but we're wise enough to know that we're not going to get that. We could demand that the FBI step in and launch a federal investigation into what happened to Pamela Turner, but we know by now that that is of none effect. It's no different than you know, allowing a skunk to investigate its own funk. So we plan to get justice for our sister, and just as they have their playbook that they go by, we have ours as well. So justice will be served one way or another by for Pamela Turner. If not in the courts of law, justice will be served by the God of justice, who is the ultimate and final judge.
That's right, man. Look, these tornadoes sweeping across the country now, they better stop. Brother Derek, thank you so much for bringing us that for the Justice Report, and we will stay with you. I'm sure Sister Rhodesia and the final call will stay with you as well. And thank you for your service to our people, brother.
And let me say before I go, we are Farrakhan.
That's okay. Yes. Thank you, Brother Derek. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
That's our Liberated Sisters Justice Report, and we're going to turn right now to the Farrakhan Factor. Coming up very soon will be our brother Jesse Muhammad, and right after him, Sister Student Minister Dr. Ava Muhammad and Sister Vicky Dillard. You don't want to move.
I was told to deliver this message. You think you're invincible because you got money, bombs, guns, and planes, killing babies, innocent people. I think you're insane. Chaos and destruction is the name of your game. Somebody's got to stop you before the whole world goes up in flames. So he told me to tell you, I'll fight you.
For my brothers, we can go to war. Fighting for my father, I will give my life for. I feel so alone in this white man's world. Whip it in the kitchen, watch that white turn pearl. Standing on the corner.
All right, that's my fun for the morning. Brother Jesse, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
That's I'll Fight Ya from Let's Change the World, the 44-song box set, The Gift from The Gift, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Let's have the Farrakhan Factor, Brother Jesse.
Yes, ma'am. I am here today on Liberated Sisters to declare that I join and stand with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the national representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in saying I'm anti-termite.
Me too.
We are witnessing the termitic demise of those who are foolish enough to attack and denounce the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You are coming at a man that is divinely guided and fashioned, who is boldly exposing, unmasking, uncovering, challenging, and overthrowing the mind and world of Satan, and you are foolish enough to come at him. Who do you think you are fighting against? This man is a warrior who has led a nation that does not carry carnal weapons. Our weapon of choice is the invincible truth, and when you come at him, you are stirring up a hive of bees that will not get off of you until you realize your error and your mistakes. And because they cannot prove that Minister Farrakhan is a liar, the enemy is always salivating, Sister Charlene,
Come on.
at the opportunity to make mischief with his words, publicly and privately. And this is why he has tweeted to us before. He said we have to be careful of Satan's interpretation of the words of the messenger of God, because Satan has come in the path of truth. And Satan wants to make an interpretation of the truth to make the people who believe in the truth to deviate from the truth. If you would go back, Miss Rye, and those of you all that are uneducated and uninformed, go back and watch part 25 of the Time and What Must Be Done series. Minister Farrakhan warned you and warned us that the words and interpretation of Satan, Sister Charlene, is like carbon monoxide,
Come on.
a poisonous gas. And if you inhale the lies of Satan, you will go to sleep, which can lead to eventually to your own spiritual death. And that's why we must expose the lie and the liar. So Miss Rye, or as somebody has called her, Miss Lie, she is the latest victim of the inhaling of Satan's carbon monoxide. But we're here to tell you, you have brought forth the witness bearers who are representing the truth from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that has the oxygen that can relieve you of your sleep, your slumber, your stumble, and your foolishness. We are anti-termite. As I close, why should we be anti-termite? Sister Charlene, many people may not know, but America suffers from $5 billion per year in damages due to termites around this country. And they said, according to research, all a termite needs is a crack that is as thin as 1/32 of an inch, which is just the thickness of a credit card, to slip into a structure and start eating away at it.
Wow.
So the minute you decide to compromise in the smallest of ways, Satan will exploit you. He will eat at you, and just like a termite, he will leave droppings, damage, hollow spots, and your foundation will begin to crumble internally at a rapid pace.
Come on.
I am anti-termite. So you say, well, why should we call out Miss Rye and others? It is because you are attacking not just Minister Farrakhan, but you are attacking the whole of humanity that is yearning to be free.
That's right.
And when you are frightened and threatened as a politician, an entertainer, a celebrity, and you become overly and unnecessarily apologetic to Satan's world, then they make you bend and bow, and they eat at you, and the only thing you have left is a hollow inside.
Come on.
So we are telling you that everybody today should be anti-termite, because the termitic characteristics of these people that eat at away at a Miss Rye and all of these so-called intellectuals, these people have to be exposed by the light of truth. And if you take on their false promises and you accept their invitation into their dark, termitic underworld, they will only throw you to the side after they have used you for their agenda.
Teach.
Well, we're not having it today.
No.
There is nobody that is getting a pass.
None.
We don't care what is your past relationship with the Nation of Islam. If you make a mistake in public, you have to be checked and corrected in the public.
We coming.
And we coming. And I close like this. You may say, well, you may think that you have no choice but to accept Satan's way, but that's where you know you have been inhaling the carbon monoxide. Because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has given us a 64-year example that is the fulfillment of these words that he said in an interview in 2016. I quote, "I don't have to lie, cheat, steal, or deny my teacher and my God and what he taught in order to achieve what God is blessing me to achieve."
That's right.
He said that should be enough of an example for all you cowardly Negroes that you do not have to denounce your brother to achieve greatness. And if you denounce me to achieve greatness, wait until the enemy betrays you and then throws you back like a piece of used tissue paper to your people. We should all be anti-termite.
Ooh, Brother Jesse. Yeah, but don't go, brother. Don't go. Praise be to Allah. This is Brother Jesse Muhammad, the social media director, the general of the Farrakhan Twitter army, appointed such by Minister Farrakhan himself. Brother Jesse, thank you so much, as I'm going to thank personally Dr. Ava Muhammad, his national spokesperson, and Sister Vicky Dillard, and I'm thanking Dr. Boyce Watkins. You know, I'm getting little hits from people saying to cool it, you know, the minister, we need to show people who he truly is, not get angry and not respond in the way that they've seen me responding over the last 2 days this morning when I got wind of this. And I say, don't tell me to cool it. In fact, you need to heat it up a little bit, because it's not his job to say anything. You can't tell me, you can't tell us that the minister isn't responding this way. He should not. The minister shouldn't even be bothered with this. You know, as Sister Vicky Dillard said in her excellent retort to this madness, you know, you're a cadet. You're not going to, the general not going to come out and address you. Low levels address low levels. And I'm not offending us by saying that. What I'm saying is my baby could handle Angela Rye. Brother Jesse, it did not even sound like she believed what she was saying in terms of how she would passionately speak and defend those rights and other issues that she believes in as a CNN commentator. But I want to thank you for what you're saying here. And I want to remind people, you know, about the minister's open letter to black leadership.
That's right.
And he said, stand down. No, we had
told him to stand down. That's right.
Stand down. Let them come out. I want to read a little bit about it before we let you go and bring on our beautiful sisters, our warriors, our liberated sisters.
Yes,
he says,
bring them on.
in part with the, first of all, they responded. They said, yes, of course. I was like, oh my God. So anyway, whenever the light of truth, this is a minister from the letter in 2010. Let me do it right. Minister Louis Farrakhan, national representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his servant. Pardon me, his messenger. Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. An open letter to black leadership. Now, as General Counsel, Student Minister, Brother Abdul Arif Muhammad aptly pointed out on Dr. Ava's show on Sunday, Elevated Places on WVON, Angela Rye isn't even a black leader. She has influence. And as Dr. Ava camelbacked and said, yes, you have a sphere of influence and you take that to believe you're a leader. But you're leading those who would follow you into the depths of hell if you keep going this way, as you're pointing out, Brother Jesse. The minister says, in part in the letter, it's in the center of the letter, whenever the light of truth has been shown on them, meaning the enemy, the synagogue of Satan, they reach for you to defend them against the truth that uncovers the horror that has been done to us. They have always been successful pitting us against each other, thus keeping them from facing the truth of their real relationship with us. I want to pause and ask you to go to store.finalcall.com and buy and read and share The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, Volumes 1 and 2, and the other subsequent books by the great research team, the NOI Research Group. Or you can go to researchminister.com or NOI Research Group on the line, right? And so he says that as they call upon you to denounce me as an anti-Semite, and because of the favor you believe you owe them for what they have done to help make life comfortable for you, I am asking you to, in bold, stand down. I am asking, right, Brother Jesse?
That's
2010.
Right.
This letter has not been snatched off anywhere, and the instruction, really, his request, but it's an instruction, has not changed.
That's right.
Let me hold on. He says, I am asking you to read this research. There's a link there, and I posted it. Oh, Twitter blocked me. Oh, Brother Jesse, Twitter blocked me. Oh, my God. Yes.
Welcome to the club.
Yes.
Welcome to the family. We proud of you.
Woo!
Charlene.
Twitter blocked me. All I
on.
did was post the letter, and I said, you should have listened. They told me I was preaching hate. All right. Or maybe someone reported it. But anyway, he says, read this research and then discuss it with your Jewish friends. Would you condemn me as an anti-Semite for exposing the research that shows them as being anti-black? I am asking you to stand down and let them come out to me to defend their record and history of their relationship with us that we compiled from that which was written by their own scholars, historians, and rabbis. That's just one paragraph from this great, beautiful, light-shining, life-saving message. He ends it by saying, thank you for reading these words. Respectfully and sincerely submitted, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, servant to the lost foundation of Islam in the West. Oh, I love Minister Farrakhan. Yes, we do. We are Farrakhan. You're just not going to do it today. I don't care who you are. If you were my own blood mother, and Mommy, I love you, and she loves the minister, so thank God we don't have to have that beef in the family. But we're coming. We're coming for you. If you come for him, and we're coming in a righteous way. Now, Brother Jesse, some people came on my thread. Ooh, the brothers were going in on Anns. I had to delete them. Don't curse her out, y'all.
Right, yeah. Now
don't call her out of her name, even though she did a foul thing. But let's not go back like that. Go ahead, Brother Jesse.
That's right. That's not our way.
Ooh.
The Honorable Louis Farrakhan said we deal with programming platforms. We don't go personal. So we allow our people, however, outside the nation, they choose to express. That's them in their spirit. At the same time, we have a dignified manner.
Come on.
The minister just said at Father Flager's church that he never allowed those who are with him to get vile, those who attack us. So we don't call her out of her name. Like my statement, I come from our lessons, from the minister's word.
That's
we come in a very dignified manner. I also want to balance it. I know we're closing.
Yeah.
To those believers that want to tiptoe around the lilies and defending the minister right now.
Man, because it's Ramadan.
You need to go pick up Closing the Gap and go read pages 216 to 219 when Brother Jabril talked about that one man and the 6 women that were at the cross of Jesus during the time of trial. And on page 217, the minister gave a headline before the headlines warning to us that will be in a state of suspended consciousness in that dark hour. You're suspended. You're not moving. You're hesitating. And so he said this part, the 6 women and the 1 man represented an untold number that were growing into belief in him but were not present. The events of the hour were making a whole new cadre of believers.
Come on.
Then he says, regardless of their lapse, the disciples could have been raised in the next instant, or, listen carefully, they could have been replaced by those who bore resemblance to them in terms of faith.
Wow.
Some of the old can be made new, but most of the old will be gone, unworthy, unfit to be with him in that next dispensation.
Ooh.
Brothers and sisters,
come on.
You better get in your books. We are in the time of Ramadan, but fighting is prescribed to us, and we have been aggressed. But don't use that as an opportunity to mask your cowardice. No, you need to stand up and say something.
That's
don't
right.
try to temper us down. No, you need to pick your spirit up. And by the grace of Allah, we will respond in the best of manner. But I thank Allah for you, Sister Charlene.
Praise be.
Sister Vicky, Sister Ava, those that are representing that spirit of women that were around Jesus at this time and that hour. And I pray that us as men will recognize and be like that John, to have that same soldier spirit, because this man has saved our lives. And I'm sorry, I don't have no stake in none of these people.
None.
I don't owe them. I ain't looking for no favors from them. You come after God's man, we got to say something.
Man,
and
look,
that's it.
Brother Jesse, you said it. You hit it on the head. I mean, too many people have not heard him. You know, and so with the time that people are taking to tell folks to cool it, they could post a great word. You don't have to fight the same way, but for God's sake, fight. You know what I said is, I'll let you go, Brother Jesse. I bet that was the person that hit me, or was the person that probably will take out and be right there on an altercation with a cop and a Sister Pam Turner and be videotaping. Oh, you'll be the one that'll be videotaping. I see what kind of character you are. So let me just delete you right now. Delete you.
Hey, we can't have no cowards in the foxhole.
Man, we tell it like get out of here, like Sister Vicky said. But Brother Jesse, thank you for the Farrakhan factor. We're going to bring on our great sister, Dr. Ava Muhammad, and we're going to get Sister Vicky in here. And thank you for the Farrakhan factor and all that you do, Brother Jesse. Thank you.
Thank you all. Yes, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Oh, MG. It is on like popcorn, like the children used to say. So we're going to bring in, God willing, by phone right now, student minister Dr. Ava Muhammad. She is the national spokesperson for the man of the perpetual, the all day, every day hour, as I like to say it. Minister Ava Muhammad represents the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. She did a great exegesis of what's happening on Elevated Places, her podcast, which is on Blog Talk Radio, and you can also catch her on WVON. WVON is on Sunday. Blog Talk is on Thursday night. Dr. Ava Muhammad, Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem. How are you, Sister Charlene?
Ooh, I'm better now, Dr. Ava. Thank you so much. How are you?
Oh, doing well. Thank you so much.
Praise be to Allah. I appreciate you taking time to come on to the Liberated Sisters. Dr. Ava is an esteemed attorney. Oh, my God, an author. She is a student minister, again, the national representative, a radio talk show personality, a wife, a mother, a grandmother, and a mentor, a guide, all of these beautiful things, and has been with the minister for eons. And Dr. Ava, we thank you for that. And I'm glad that you're here to talk to us about this Miss Angela Rye. And let me just say this as you go on, Dr. Ava, before you comment. The Bitter Tears of Angela Rye and Other Black Apologists. And Sister Vicky Dillard will be joining us soon. By Skype, inshallah. The Bitter Tears of Angela Rye and Other Black Apologists. This is from the editor-in-chief, Brother Richard Muhammad of the Final Call newspaper. And he says how analyst Angela Rye decided to wade in on the attacks on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the continued targeting of the Nation of Islam minister by Jewish leaders, groups, and organizations. I'm not going to go any further into it. Please read it at finalcall.com. It's out today, as well as on Brother Richard's Facebook page. And thank you, Brother Editor, for that. Dr. Ava, as you and Brother General Counsel, Brother R, said on your show Sunday, she volunteered herself for the Farrakhan litmus test. Can we get your thoughts?
Yes, ma'am. And if I may preface
Please.
My remarks with this thought, that I want the listeners and viewers to understand that this is not really about Angela Rye. Angela Rye just simply represents a type or even a prototype of those among us, the former slave population, who have been indoctrinated so profoundly into the doctrine of white supremacy that their desire more than anything is, as is written in both the Bible and the Holy Quran, nearness to Pharaoh. In the Bible and Quran, they call them enchanters. In the old days, Uncle Tom, house Negro. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad used the term prominent house servants. This is a class of people who are selected for various reasons by the slave master to serve in a position of nearness. And in exchange for that, life is more comfortable. They enjoy some of the perks, some of the treats, if you would use that term, of
Yeah.
providing a certain measure of comfort to the slave master because they serve as a buffer between the masses of black people and the ownership class of Caucasians. And their greatest value is that they perpetuate the idea of white supremacy, that it is unlawful and appalling when a black man or a black woman actually speaks from their true thought, actually express what they really feel, as opposed to serving as a dolphin or a parrot or some other creature that has the capability of repeating sounds. And so what you heard from Ms. Rye on the podcast was a recitation of the language and the posture that the open enemy of our liberation uses in their perpetual effort to keep us in a position of third-class citizenship.
Wow.
And this is why you heard the type of remarks that you heard. My problem, and I'm sure yours, is not that someone disagrees
Right.
with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, with the narratives given to us and the directives given to us from Allah through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You don't have to agree with that. You don't even have to share our belief as to who he is,
That's right.
as to who the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is, as to who Master Farid Muhammad is. We have a theology, we have a belief system that we subscribe to, and you don't have to accept it.
That's right.
We also have a program, and our program is directed at the well-being of the 40 to 60 million descendants of slaves in America. It's not limited to the registered members of the Nation of Islam. And so the call for separation is a call for the 40 to 60 million, whatever our belief system or persuasion is. And so you have a right, certainly, to say, well, I don't necessarily agree with that. But to go on a medium,
Right.
whether it's a podcast, whether it's a social media platform, whether it's CNN or whatever mechanism, to go on and slander the premier black leader
Premier.
in America and the world. And I say that without fear of contradiction.
Absolutely.
I can support that with numbers.
Come on, in no limit
with
of time.
statistics.
That's right.
All right? With a record of impeccable character, reputation, and action by this father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and great-great-grandfather. As I mentioned Sunday, and Sister Vicky spoke of it as well, very effectively.
Ooh.
Black people, first of all, we are not from here. I don't care if we have been here 450 years. We're not from here.
That's right.
We are the descendants of kidnapped victims.
Ooh.
We have never, at any point in our history, been offered the opportunity to say we'd like to go back home.
Break it down.
We were never offered compensation for 310 years of physical bondage, nor compensation for, beyond our physical labor, being the inventors and innovators of America's technological advancement, of providing America with art and music and civilization. Never offered that. And so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in his wisdom has said that he wants every black man and woman to choose whether or not they desire to return to their own. Because it is written in Scripture that we will return to our own.
That's right.
And so to me, the posture that our sister adopted represents, it's really the quintessence of the damage that the doctrine of white supremacy can do, and the doctrine of black inferiority. Because white supremacy would have no weight if it were not for the concomitant existence of black inferiority. In other words, if we didn't feel inferior, it wouldn't matter what they think of themselves. Right. You can believe you're God. You know, it's called a God complex.
Right.
But unless I believe you are God, then that has no bearing on my existence. And so to speak with such disparaging terms of the minister, to speak to him over the airwaves as though you are his peer, when he could easily be your grandfather. He was on the front lines before your mother was born. That is a violation of the most rudimentary code of conduct among original people.
That's right. That's right.
Now, in this savage landscape, and then I'll stop. This savage landscape that is America now, shootings every day, profane language coming out of the mouth of the commander-in-chief.
Right.
Thievery, stealing, people using their wealth to go under the table and pay someone to let their child in college when the child is not qualified.
Just dummies.
See, and dishonest.
Right.
Deception. It's become a society where no one cares how you got your wealth.
Yeah, it's a really...
In a moral society, how you got that wealth becomes part and parcel of our assessment of your reputation. But here, you can sell drugs, you can do as the Trump family did, and, rob people in terms of rent, buy buildings and block out people because of race, and grow very rich. Yeah. Borrow money with no intent to repay it, and then boast about it, and run for president on that platform and win.
And then tell everybody else you need to have credit and be good.
Yes. But I'll stop. I know I went on a rant.
Oh, and you're more than welcome to do it. I mean, first of all, you have the wisdom and the knowledge. And second of all, you're the national spokesperson. So how about that? This is what we need to fall in line with, I do want to say, as we bring in Sister Vicki Dillard, I have something for both of you. I want to say we did post, and we're going to continue to call attention to the town hall meeting. And this is why, there's Angela Rise and others like that who want to stay. This is what we're saying. The question is, should blacks consider separation? There's the flyer. Dr. Ava's town hall meeting this Thursday, May 23rd. And this is in Wisconsin. And so tune in if it's going to be online. Go there, and also go to projectseparation.com and answer the question, because as she said, a referendum is going to be going down, and we're going to find out. And as she says all the time, you want to stay, much success to you. We're out of here. So yes, ma'am, Dr. Ava.
May I say one quick thing?
You better believe it.
I don't know if you all saw the nightly news on NBC last night, but this is what they dropped, and you will see this gain traction. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us there's no such thing as a coincidence. But what was dropped on the NBC Nightly News is that there is a movement in the South for black independence and separation. And that behind it is the Russian government. Just wanted to tell you that.
Interesting. Thank you for that. I didn't see that. But you know what? State of Black America this year. Oh, we got you, Sister Vicki. We coming to you. We coming. State of Black America this year, I wrote about it, and they focus heavily on the Russian interference. The report usually deals with the inequality index, as you may know, Dr. Ava, economics,
Right.
all of that. But this year it honed in on Russian interference and how they pretty much had a racial black agenda on that. So it's interesting on a lot of things being put in the Russians.
Well, it's to taint our movement toward separation. It's to taint it, but we'll deal with that.
Yeah, and we're still going. How about that?
well, look, before there ever was communism and these things, they need to read the book of Genesis. This was a promise made to Abraham. The whole reason God came here is to lead us out. So we don't need Vladimir Putin or anybody else to prompt us.
Come on.
It's 450 years of hell, and our time is up for being here, and the white man's time is up for ruling over us.
Ooh.
That's what's prompting separation, not other white people.
Come on, just like that. First of all, thank you for that, Dr. Ava. And I know you do have to go, but I just want you on with Sister Vicky for a few short minutes.
Oh, I must, yes.
Let me bring her in this way. I wanted to sandwich it in. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Vicky. Sister Vicky. Mighty Sister Vicky, you're on with Sister Student Minister Dr. Ava Muhammad. Look at these beautiful. Oh, come on. Thank Allah for the black woman. Look, I want to give you both this right now as we hear from you, Sister Vicky, and then I just want to dialogue with the both of you for a few minutes. Liberated Sisters wants to present to you and to Student Minister Dr. Ava Muhammad Pumps on the Ground Awards. And if we could show the family what they will be receiving in the mail to Dr. Ava Muhammad. Thank you for your excellent representation and defense of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and your many years of love, sacrifice, and dedication to the Nation of Islam and the rise of our people. This is from Sister Charlene Muhammad and the Liberated Sisters family. May Allah continue to bless you on your post, Dr. Ava. And to oh, my God. And to Sister Vicky, thank you, Sister Vicky Dillard, for your excellent defense of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan against the unfounded, baseless, silly white supremacist attacks by Warm Butter Biscuit Angela Rye. That's from Sister Charlene Muhammad and the Liberated Sisters family. We bear witness that Farrakhan has an army that they see and that they don't see. May Allah continue to bless you. I had to, and thank you so much, Brother Jesse Muhammad, for making my awards. Sisters, I'm just so elated. You know, we're on the battlefield, and this is a real life. And so, Sister Vicky, thank you for coming on with Student Minister Dr. Ava Muhammad. We are pleased, dear sister. I'm so thankful to you, because we keep telling people you're just not going to say what you want to say about this man. How has Minister Farrakhan impacted you, sister? And Minister Ava, just dialogue with her. I know you have about 5 more minutes, but just take it away, sisters.
Well, may I do this?
Yes.
So it doesn't get lost?
Sure.
Sister Vicky, if I may say to you, first of all, assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Walaikum salam. It's a dream and an honor to be with you both, Dr. Ava Muhammad. My. I bow to my sisters.
But I'm going to tell you, my beautiful sister, that your defense of our leader and teacher, the national representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is unequaled in any I have seen in recent nation history.
Come on.
And I'm going to tell you, that combination of passion with impeccable logic and reasoning and the speed and the alacrity of your responsiveness. And what I love that you did,
come on,
because your presentation showed your love for the people. See, some of us just want to talk and be heard, and we feed off the people. There are others among us, beginning with Minister Farrakhan, and then like Sister Vicky, who feed the sheep.
Come on.
See, when I listen to you, sister, I get fed. I get watered. I get nourished. I was actually healed from that. Because when you hear the type of assault on the minister
yes,
that this woman leveled, that has no basis in reality or spirituality, then it hurts you. It can make you ill.
that's right. Come on.
Because it brings up acid in your stomach and your throat, and it sends your mind to dark places. But when somebody can go out in front, it's like Steph Curry and those 3-pointers. And, the brother coming in, Kevin Durant went down, but they had the brother, I think it's Draymond, Brother Green, who throws does the 3-pointer at the buzzer. See, that was Sister Vicky last week, and I just want to say to you,
that's right.
You keep right on doing what you are doing because you are born to do this.
Yes.
And we need you, not just the nation, not just the followers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but the black nation needs you. And I just wanted, I thank you, Sister Charlene, for letting me have an opportunity to be able to say that directly.
Praise be. Are you joshing me? This is your show. Matter of fact, I should have had you come on the top and you tell me what to do, Minister Ava, okay? Let's make it plain. Sister Vicky, let you have the balance of the show. And Sister Ava, just say, I got to check out when you do. But go ahead, Sister Vicky.
Yes,
it's just about both of you at this point.
I can hardly speak with such profound words that are just absolutely earth-shattering, cosmic, coming out of the mouth of one of my greatest heroes. And to be amongst the mighty MGT is just amazing. But to quickly speak on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, how has he impacted my life? The scripture says that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. And so the words that come out of the mouth of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is God. It's the stuff of God. And so it is how I live. It is how I be. And I have to say that the time that we're in now, we're in the most auspicious times, in my humble opinion. And I say that to say this. The minister has come out and said unequivocally, made it clear, that he is indeed the Jesus of our time.
That's right.
And my dear sisters, what came to mind was what I grew up reading about, what I grew up learning about in Sunday school, what I heard my grandmother teach about, who started one of the first libraries in a church in Mississippi, what my mother trained us on and taught us on. We are in the time of Jesus. And it is written, I was going over the scripture from Luke 10:24, where it says that blessed are the eyes that see what you see. Many prophets and kings wanted to see what you see,
right,
and do see, and hear what you hear and do not hear. But we are blessed to be in the same time, space continuum as the Jesus of our day. So the idea that I get the privilege and the honor, I believe it was John the Baptist that said he wasn't even worthy to tie the shoelace.
Well.
The idea that I get to, in some corner of the world from a laptop, even with an illness that the doctor says that I have a lifetime, I get to do it from home and go before parts of the world on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm not even worthy to tie his shoelaces. It is the greatest honor, and it is the easiest thing. It is my nature. It is not even something to think about. It's nothing to be patted on the head for. It's nothing to be congratulated for. It is a simple thing for me to do, and a great, great honor. And I'll say this, I was locked up in the belly of the beast after being targeted for activist work that I did some other time. Perhaps I'll be able to share that more. The long and short of it, while I was there, even before I was there, I was acquainted with the teaching, but my mother gave me a subscription I accessed to for nearly 4 years. I ate the Final Call newspaper. I read numerous books. I had access to some of the DVDs where I was able to sit in with only 2 sisters that was on the compound that was connected to the Nation of Islam where I was in Texas. And I was able to live and eat off of that word. So hands off of Minister Farrakhan. He is my very life.
Sister, all praises due to Allah. Sisters, we have 2 more minutes. I want to give you both the last word, starting with you, Minister Ava.
Well, I want to make reference to something you said earlier about us as black women, and I want to, and of course, this is Liberated Sisters. This is black women at war.
That's right.
The genocidal plan against black people is being executed through the black woman. We are being killed outright physically, such as our sister in Texas who was assassinated, executed by that cop while pregnant. But we are also being mentally and spiritually murdered. And so let us do as our sister just spoke of, stay close to God. And with that, I've got to run.
Thank you, Dr. Ava, so much. And may Allah continue to bless you. And thank you. Assalamu alaikum. And Sister Vicky?
Walaikum salam.
Yes, walaikum salam. Yes, ma'am.
Closing remark, and I'm so sorry that we just got you on, but you're welcome back here next week and anytime. Go ahead, sister.
I look forward to it. Thank you so much. Quickly, I'll just in line with what Dr. Ava just said about the black woman being executed, I'll say this. It's no wonder, because even as the government acknowledged through COINTELPRO, J. Edgar Hoover said what? That it is the job of the government. It was their express purpose to stop the rise of a black Messiah, which means they acknowledge that the Jesus that we've been looking for is not coming out of the sky. It's coming through a womb of a black woman. It's right. No wonder. And it's happening on a metaphysical and a very physical plane.
That's right. And thank you so much, sister, for being with us. And I'm going to say it because Allah hates ingratitude. And as Minister Ava said, it's a healing. I listened and kept rewinding. And by the time I got through halfway, I had not been angry, and I started to just continue with the outrage and knew what we were doing. But when it comes up at first, it's just like a blood boil, because it's like, how dare you? But thank you to Sister Tiffany who sent your video to me, and thank you, sister. Just keep doing what you do, and inshallah we'll have you back soon to talk about your personal story.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. By Allah's grace. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, man.
That's our show for today. Thank you so much to student minister Dr. Ava Muhammad, to the great sister Vicky, to brother Jesse Muhammad, and to brother Derek Muhammad, to all of the Final Call staff under the helm of the editor-in-chief, under the helm of our publisher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You can view Minister Farrakhan's address. I forgot it again this week. I'm going to play it next week. As this is his address from the rally at St. Sabina Church, right, with Father Flager. You can view that at noi.org, and also visit lctwmusic.com for his box set, Let's Change the World. Thank you so much, Sister Felicia, the Poetess Morris and Morris Media Studios. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad saying, if it's impacting our community or can uplift us as a people, let's talk about it. Peace.